So, guys, welcome to this class. Actually, this is the most important class you can ever have. Uh, this is the class for your life, actually. Yes, as in, this is the class where I would urge you to even switch off your phones, okay? And just concentrate on the class because most of you guys use your phones and then you're kicked out and then you come back and then you've missed something. So, this is the most important class because I'm teaching you, most of you mostly, what you didn't learn in school. So in school you learn things are called hard skills. Hard skills is how to do the thing itself. For the designers, you learned how to design. Okay, even if you didn't go to school, you learned it on YouTube. For an accountant, you learned how to balance your books. For an architect, you were taught the hard skill of doing all those things. So soft skills are things that now define rich people and poor people. Soft skills define those who make it and those who do not make it. Soft skills are what run businesses. So, and these are things you never learn in school. Okay. So that's why I'm saying today's class will just be so amazing. Yes, it's one of the most important classes to have. So this is just why Bright Academy exists. For the longest time, I've been a creative, and there are some things I've learned the hard way. I've learned how to start a company from scratch. I've learned all the skills that I know now, the hard skills from scratch, without having someone to look up to, without someone giving me the shortcuts, and someone to tell me even how to dress well when meeting a client. So I run a company called Bright Consulting Limited, where I offer services like web design, graphic design, digital marketing, and all these things. There are a lot of things that I do. So I decided, let me start Bright Academy so that I can help creatives not undergo what I underwent. So I said, let me just start something very, very free. I'll never charge anyone for anything. These classes will be there forever. And I don't really think I would want to monetize these classes. No, let me just spend my time. It's more for me, I give back to the society. Because if a fellow creative or a fellow business person makes it, that will be my greatest pleasure. So, my biggest resolve is this: you should not die with the talent and skills you have because they were given unto you. Freely were you given, so freely should you pass on. So, a simple thing like sharing this class or telling people that something like this exists goes a very, very long way. So, I usually forget to tell people to join the group. So, right now, actually, I'm going to share the the group link right now. Okay, I don't know how to do this. Okay, I will share it later. I'm using a different version of WhatsApp web. Yes, write group via link. So let me just copy the link and put it on the chat. So on the chat, you can actually get the link to join this WhatsApp group. It's mostly for creatives. Yeah, so we don't talk much. We just share once in a while and notify people of weekly classes that we usually have. So I've just told you about what Bright Consulting is all about. You will actually have all this course content shared with you in the courses. I will update it, and the video as well. It will be updated on Monday. So I usually say you have an innate power to achieve anything in life. You can and you will. Never limit the you haven't explored. So that's why every time when someone says, my name is so and so, and I run a small company, I stop them and I tell them, no, you're not running a small company. My name is so and so, and I am just no. Never put a disclaimer in your introduction. Never call yourself a beginner. You are not. Even a baby is not a beginner. They started living not even in their mother's womb. They started living in as a sperm. So a baby just born is not a beginner. They know how to survive. That's why if you put a toddler in a swimming pool, they will actually they will actually float. Yes. So I wonder why they do such things to babies. So as I said, there are so many things school does not teach. School will never teach you how to handle that crazy client because there are some clients that are just erratic. They have their own issues and they will bring their issues to you. So for you, you will think this person is coming to me very negatively and they are here to attack me. So school will always teach you about academics most of the time. Okay. And one of the biggest things we saw as silly were the mentors or motivational speakers that came to school to teach us about these things. So that was when you would arrange your locker, decide to be focused. Okay. So for you to do that, there was something that was imparted in you. So people really make a joke about that, but it is not really a joke. It is not really a joke, and that is why you did what you did, even for that short period of time. It means something that was imparted to you that you can actually do it, and it will happen even at the end of this class. You may change the way you do things, okay, because maybe you are enlightened about some things, but you have to keep it going. You have to sustain it, okay. You'll have to sustain it because most of us maybe read a book, we get so empowered and so motivated. We watch a movie, we get so empowered and motivated, but after a few days, we go back to our old things. No, you need to constantly upgrade yourself. Okay, constantly give yourself those skills that change your life. So if I feed on junk for one day, it would really have minimal effect on me. Okay, if I feed on it every single day, it will really have bad effect on me. So it's the same way. If I have a million trees in a forest and I cut one, there will be no change in the climate at place. But if I cut 100, 200, 300, 400, it will affect all other things. So that's why I say if you stay with four fools, you will become the fifth. Okay? Automatically. If you stay with four rich guys, you will become the fifth one. Even if these rich people never gave you connection, never gave you money, you're just around the atmosphere. So this is what we call impartation. So in this class, there's a lot of impartation that happens. How one sustains it is usually up to them. So school will teach you how to do the task and not how to handle the task. It will uh, mention things like having emotional intelligence, but it will not show you how to cultivate it. The school of life will make you cultivate it. Okay, so you find that maybe you're a very proud person and you have this crazy client that you're broke and you need the money. So you will have to teach yourself how to be humble so that you win over this client. So that's the school of life I'm talking about. So, in my career, my creative career, because I've done a lot of creative things from blogging, which is writing, to being a DJ. Yes, that is also creativity. To being a photographer, to being a graphic designer, a digital marketer, a web designer, and all those things, a lot of things. So I have come to realize that most creatives don't know how to handle clients. You don't know how to tickle clients, how to present themselves to clients, how to negotiate on their pricing, and how to win over deals. So this is all what I'm going to cover today. So soft skills to hone in business. So I will explain what honing is. So according to the Oxford Dictionary, soft skills are personal attributes that enable someone to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people, e.g., communication skills, people skills, time management is a soft skill. Okay. Uh, I'm so sure in school they were not beating you to keep on time, maybe in primary school. So if why most people do not know how to manage their time even after they were beaten for it, it's because it did not come from them. It was not intrinsic. So the forage describe hard skills as objective, quantifiable skills gained through training, school, or work experiences. Hard skills are usually things that can be taught or learned. So for that reason, they can be easily proven. You either know how to write code or you don't. You either know how to design or not. You don't. You either know how to do that mathematics or you don't. So um, to hone, it simply means to refine or perfect something over a period of time. Soft skills are not easily detected. You cannot look at someone and say this person knows how to keep time. You cannot look at someone and say this person knows how to handle stress. No, you must see them through stress. So these are things that you perfect over and over again with time. So that's why the title for the class is soft skill that you can hone uh, for your business. So straight onto it, the first and the most important is communication. Most businesses are gained or lost on how you communicate. Okay? If you communicate badly, then you're not likely to have a deal. If you communicate well, you're very easy to convince a client. And today I want us to think about us being the service provider. Okay? And we think that you are procuring a service from another person. Okay? So communication is not just verbal. It's not me just talking to you. We have three major types. Okay? We have verbal, we have non-verbal, and we have written. So communication is basically the imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. So it can be categorized into three basic types. You have verbal, which you listen to a person to understand what they mean. Written communication, in which you read their meaning. And nonverbal communication, in which you observe a person and infer meaning. So verbal communication in business uh, take place over the phone or in person. And the medium is oral. Okay, so me talking to you right now, this is verbal communication because it's the use of words. Okay, so it may include you explaining your processes for gathering results to a coworker, presenting your final project finding to stakeholders, introducing an external client to your brand, giving your teammate real-time feedback in their presentation, asking follow-up questions, complimenting a teammate on their work. So These are now the verbal communication skills that you're supposed to hone in your career, either employed, either you are looking for work, or you're looking to have that deal. So, tone. You need to have a positive and a confident tone, okay, when speaking to your client. So, you find most creatives most demean the work they do. So, if I am in the center of doctors or people who are thought to have bigger careers, I'm in the center of midst of doctors, lawyers, architects who have made it in life, I will try and think that simply I'm a graphic designer, I am less important. Okay. And because of social status, there are VIPs and there are non VIPs. People tend to demean themselves because they think they are not VIPs. So every business is run from from the mindset with a strong perspective. So in everything you do, know that you're a VIP. Every single thing that you do, in every place that you step, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, know that I am a very important person and I'm the best that can ever be. So most creatives think of themselves lesser. So they think that doing, let's say, graphic design or being a photographer, it's an errand job. They don't know there are people that have made in photography and they're world icons. They don't know there are people that have made it in doing graphic design and they have made it in life. So they tend to have a very shaky tone, a tone that just shows that they're not good, okay? That they're not sure of who they are, they're not sure of what they can do. So you find that creatives will hide themselves when they're in such situations. If I were to take you to a luncheon in State House and you have the CSS, you have invited doctors, ambassadors, and all these people, and you're just networking, and they asked you what they do, ask yourself, will I be ready to say that I am what I do right now? Will I say I simply sell clothes? Will I say I'm a graphic designer? Will I feel demeaned when I say I am a photographer? Okay. So you find creatives will hide themselves in their brand. They will say, I am employed by Bright Consulting. Yeah. And the client will come and ask, and what does Bright Consulting do? So by the time you are describing what Bright Consulting does, you've already lost the client. If I simply when I'm I'm networking with people, they ask me, you nice to meet you. Hey, what do you do? The first thing is, with a very firm tone, I say I'm a web designer. Oh, that's amazing. So to the client's mind or to the guy that I'm networking with, the first thing that is in their mind is that, wow, this guy is a web designer. So they have a web designer in their head. It's the same way. Let us think of the recipient, us as the recipient. If I am talking to people and someone says, hi, what's your name? So and so, what do you do? I am an electrician. The first thing that will come into your mind is like, wait, my fridge is not working. Okay. Or I have something that needs your services. And you will end up knowing that this guy can sort my problems. And that is actually how the life is. That's actually how life is. Automatically, people are always looking for something that will be of importance to them or something that can solve their problems. So never shy away from saying what your career is, not necessarily where you work. Okay. So, and depending on the setting, you can choose to interchange the two. Okay. So if I am with graphic designers, okay, I can say I work, I'm a graphic designer because I'm also a graphic designer. If I'm with web designers, let's say I'm in a community of web designers, I can say I am a web designer. If there's if I'm also let's say working for Ogilvy and there's a networking event happening, okay, let's say there's a launch or something and we're invited, I can also say I work for Ogilvy. So you get to know where to use your identity. And this is covered in our first class. What is your identity? So always have a confident tone. No, even if you are a plumber, even if your work ni kuokota karatasi, be firm on it. That is what separates people who make it and people who don't. Actually, most of the people who have made it, they started from very, very, very mere jobs. And just because they were confident in their tone, like, what do? I'm a houseboy. Someone saw something in them. So, soft skills can also make other people see something in you. Okay, someone is just looking for someone with some soft skills, and that's it. They don't care if you are learned or not learned. They just love your attitude, and that is what is happening to most clients. They're like, okay, this one has a very good job, can do a very good job, but you can't work with him. His character, no. This one is not so good, but he's so amazing. He's so amazing. So clients will always go for the experience. So in verbal communication, second thing you're supposed to have is responsiveness. Do not just, when someone asks, who are you? Don't just say, I am Dongo James. Okay? That's it. It's like it's an interview. You will make the conversation boring and you will lose the client. Okay? I am talking in a situation, let's say you're in a networking platform. You don't know this person. You just went and said hi. This other person said their name. They asked you who you are. You just said, I'm Dongo James. Okay? And then you look at the guy with some sharp eyes and they're like confused. They will actually leave that conversation immediately because they think it's awkward. So instead, they aim to make the meeting more conversational rather than a rigid back and forth. Okay, where do you work? Safaricom. Okay. Ah, amazing. The weather is okay. The weather is looking amazing. Yes. You see. So ensure you have a smooth flow. Okay. Clarity. Be concise and straightforward, even if it means pausing to get your thoughts together before answering. Okay? Taking a deep breath is amazing in this space. Sometimes you can be bombarded by thoughts. Okay? Someone catches you off guard, they ask you something, and you're more confused when you talk. Okay? Relax. It is always better to relax. Okay, and give a clear and a concise answer to that. Yeah, so you need to have clarity in all your conversations. Okay, make sure that you are not like okay, let's say a client asked you oh, you do websites, oh, okay, do you know server side languages? You're like I was no. Be straightforward. It's a yes or no, or it's something that I can do. Okay? So make sure there's clarity in your statements. Curiosity. Okay, you need to have the conversation breathe. Okay, ask original questions. Okay, that, let's say if you're in an interview, that will help you understand the company further and demonstrate your interest. Let's say someone needs graphic design services. Okay, ask questions about that company. Okay, uh, and how, let's say, you're going to add value to whatever they are doing. So I go to written communication. It's any written message that two or more people exchange. Written communication is typically more formal but less efficient than oral communication. Actually, let me repeat that. Written communication is typically more formal but less efficient than oral communication. This is it. Let me give an example. Let's say in my relationship, I have a disagreement. Okay. Uh, it is very easy for that disagreement to continue into a wider, vast scale if we are actually texting, if we are having the disagreement on, let's say, a WhatsApp, than if it's face to face. Why? Because on written communication, the receiver of the message, they craft their own image of you. Okay? And something very slight will mean something very big to them because they are visualizing uh, whatever is written. When I'm having the same disagreement on oral communication, the same person can look at my nonverbal cues. Okay, we're going to talk about nonverbal cues. Someone can look at my body language. Someone can know if and perceive if I really meant those words or not. And someone can look and just empathize with me because maybe I'm having some other issues that I'm dealing with, and and I've just let some other issues that I'm dealing with, and I am and I've just let those issues into that disagreement. So oral communication is much better, even in looking for your businesses. Okay, it's easier to tell someone, hey, I am a graphic designer. Okay, there's the human aspect and the human touch in that. Okay, than I write you an email, hey, I'm a graphic designer. I don't know you. And that's why traditional marketing will always be supreme. Marketing will always be marketing. Okay? Traditional marketing, me going to an office and asking for a job, and me writing an email, going to an office has more effect and it's more powerful than just me writing an email. So example of written communications are email, texts, blog posts, letters, reports, proposals, contracts, etc. So there are places where you can't do oral communication. Okay, so you will have to write an email. Okay, uh, what are the qualities that will make your written communication effective? I will start with point number 4, composition. I get emails almost every single day of people just asking me for jobs. Okay, or asking me for an opportunity to work with me. If that email has got no correct grammar or spelling, I don't look at it twice. I have an auto reply template that I just put on. Okay. Uh, if The Daily Nation had a very, very big grammatical error on the front page. They will actually even lose business for that. Okay? Why? Because they will be trolled. They'll be like, wait, for this story to be published, it had to go through so many hands. And for them not to spot an error like this, mm, uh, no, not good. So, in the same way, as you're writing something, as you're writing a message to the other party, make sure that you read and reread your message and revise it, because a simple spelling and grammar cannot can make you not land a job. Let's say I've written a proposal. If it has not good grammar, trust me, the person with the good grammar can take it. Okay? So, written communication needs to have correct spellings and grammar. You can use simple apps like Grammarly. Grammarly is free, and install the add-on on your Microsoft Word on your browsers, such that even as you type your emails and everything, it can tell you you can reword this, you can rephrase this, because you look a serious person and formal if your composition is good. So I've seen most creatives. I've looked at most creatives' portfolios, and their composition is not good. Actually, you have a very beautiful portfolio, but they cannot express themselves. So a client will wonder, yes, this is actually the best of all our submissions, but they will not represent us well, because our, let's say, posters would need content. Okay, and we don't want back and forth telling them change this here, change where. No, we need an autopilot kind of service. So your written communication should also be comprehensive. It needs to include all the relevant details. Okay, if you're doing a proposal, be relevant. Okay, let's say I'm doing a proposal to a company on, let's say, redoing their website. I do not need to tell them about things that are not related to what I am proposing. Okay, I just need to tell them, to give them, let's say, a site audit, tell them how they can improve this and that. Okay, I need to be accurate. All the details should be correct. Okay, I don't need to tell them, let's say, you need to be on this platform so that this can be done, or you need to have this and this, so that this can be done, and these are conflicting details. So, appropriate, this is another very important thing. Actually, there's some guy who wrote me an email, and I told them, this is the best email I've read. Actually, I'm actually going to look for an opportunity for you, because that email was appropriate. It had the right tone and a great level of formality. I just read and I just started smiling, and I'm like, wait, this young man just crafted this email so well. It had a very, very, very good personal touch. The last quality of written communication, it needs to be clear. It needs to be understandable. Okay? Never write to a client, tell them the way you have suffered, the way you need that opportunity, because with that opportunity will help who and who, it will help your whole village. The client really does not care. So let's go to nonverbal communication, the other most important type of communication. So it's actually the transmission of messages or signals through a nonverbal platform, such as eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, posture, and body language. So these are the type of nonverbal communication. One, body language. how you position your body, depending on the situation and the environment and how you are feeling. Okay, an example: if you're angry or nervous, you might tend to cross your arms. Okay, so serious marketers, they know about communication inside and out, and more so non-verbal communication. There are marketers who will look at you and they will not spend time with you because they know they are wasting their time. Others will look at someone and say, this is my target. I'm going to seal and convert this person as a client. So even how you sit and talk to a client, the client is also looking at your nonverbal communication. Okay? You know, you cannot go to a client, you want business from them, and you're slouching in the chair. That's rude. So you need to have a very good body language as you're talking to them. Okay? If you're feeling happy, you need to smile. Even if you're not feeling happy with a client, you must feel happy. Okay? I actually love how I told you about Sylvester here, how we talk. And this guy is always smiling and in very, very happy and jovial moods. So you will find that the client has been having crazy and crazy times in their life. But just because of you having a happy life, you know, happy mood always, this client wants to work with you, even if you're not the best and they have seen the best, but they just want to work with you. Okay. I have had clients who tell me, hey, we are connected. There's a way we are connected. As in, since this project kicked off, Yani, I've just been a different person. You see, you've given me psych to continue working harder. You see, so that was dependent on my language to the client. So the second thing is movement. So the way you move your arms and legs, you walk quickly or slowly, standing, sitting, or fidgeting, can convey message, different messages to people who are looking at you. E.g., if you're sitting still and paying attention in a meeting, it conveys respect and attention. Okay? So I talked about this. So even as you're talking to a client, maintain eye contact as well. Okay? Because it shows that you're attentive. Never go to a client and you are there looking at your phone. Okay? It's very, very, very rude, because you will, if a client sees that you don't have time for them, they will know that this guy has got no time for my projects as well. This is how they are going to treat my projects. So because as a client looks at you, they don't look at you as a one-off person. No, they look at you, this is a lifetime person. And what they're looking for is not just what you're offering, is, can you be trusted? Can I work with this guy for as long as I can? So the third thing is posture. As I said, you cannot go to a client and slouch. So professionalism and general dispositions towards a person or conversation can be communicated to the way you sit or stand. You know, you cannot lazily sit on a table and you're presenting something to a client. No matter how interesting the subject is, it will not be because of your nonverbal communication, because you've brought in a lazy mood. Okay? E.g., someone might slouch their shoulders if they feel tired, frustrated, or disappointed. In the same way I was saying, nonverbal cues, they actually determine the atmosphere of the conversation. Okay? So if if I go to a place that is sad, the conversation there will be sad. Okay? Or it might be interesting but saddened because I don't want to attract attention. Okay. I might talk in whispers, even if I'm talking something interesting, I might talk in whispers. So let us talk about moods. The mood of a wedding is actually just a jovial thing, where people are just talking, you hear a lot of hugging, a lot of laughing and all that. The mood of a funeral is the complete opposite. People have put on sad faces and um, they're talking in whispers, and you can barely find someone laughing, their hearts out during a funeral. So that is non-verbal communication. So always ensure you're on happy faces with a client. Okay. So gestures. Gestures vary widely across communities, but we have global gestures, if I may call them. Okay. So they are generally used to intentionally or unintentionally convey information to others. E.g., someone might display a thumbs up to communicate confirmation or they feel positive about something. So, gestures is a very, very, very important nonverbal communication. When you're talking to your clients, make sure that you use gestures as you're expressing your points. Actually, this is a must. Why? Because if I sit like a robot and I am trying to win over a client, they will lazily look at me, and that is when clients say, okay, what did you say? What did you say? So gestures help put the information in. Okay. So when you're expressing a point, you may express it with your hands, with your body, and with all these things. Don't sit there like a robot. Number 5, very important, space. You need to create a closing distance between yourself and your client. Okay. So you need to convey messages about your comfort level, the importance of the conversation, your desire to support or connect with others, and more. An example, you might stand 2 or 3 feet away from a new contact to respect their boundaries. There are those people who are very, very, very intrusive, as I say, because they do not respect personal space. Every single human being has got a personal space. Okay. So you find that I may not want someone whom I don't know too close to me in the first day, especially let's say when I'm at an event. That's why you might go too close to someone and you might see them bringing their phone close or trying to spot where their handbag is, even though you never meant any harm. So you should know that everyone has got their own personal space, and you need to respect that. Okay. There are those people who love, in any event, you might there are those people who love sitting at the corner alone with a small circle of people. So you will actually know that that person loves their personal space. Okay. And for you to approach them, you might start by, let's say, glancing at them, and smiling. Okay. So that will actually make them feel maybe a little bit safe. You might want to come closer at some time, and you might want them to notice you for quite some time, yeah, an hour or two, and then maybe you can come and say, may I join you? You may request for that. Okay. So it's good to know and look at your environment so that you can respect people's boundaries, because it needs to be discerned. Another person, you might give them that space and they think, am I smelling? Or is there anything wrong with me? Why is this guy staying too far away and we are just bonding and we are having a moment? So you should really, really study people before entering into their space. So paralanguage, okay? Paralanguage includes a non-language element of speech, okay? E.g., you talking at speed, your pitch, your intonation, your volume, your timbre, etc. So if you're excited about something, you will tend to speak faster. Okay? So you really need to know how to use paralanguage, because you cannot go to a very serious business meeting and it's a business dinner or luncheon, and you're speaking very, 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 very quickly and you look all excited and jumpy and all that. No, there you will need to be have a more relaxed speed, pitch. Your intonation should be Apple business mood and all that. You should not be shouting and all that. Facial expression, most common forms of a non-verbal communication. You can never go wrong with the right facial expression, ever. That's why when a kid smiles at you, you're like, oh, why? Because it's the most beautiful facial expression ever. Even if you had a kid from, I don't know which country, which island, smile at you, you will feel something. So the first thing that makes your client feel something is your facial expression. Okay? So if I am in a jovial mood, I will tend to raise my eyebrows. Okay? My facial muscles will be like a bit tight, because I am trying to convey an emotion of happiness. Okay? So information passed on with the correct facial expressions, they stick more with the client. I can express to a client, hi, I do websites. Okay? Very happily. With the correct facial expressions, I'm all jovial and happy. And 5 years later, I will meet this client and tell them, and they'll actually spot me and tell me, wait, I remember you. There was that day. You were very happy. You see, that's the first thing they will remember. You were very happy. And you told me, because because your information was tied to your facial expression and the mood of the day, they will remember. And you told me you're a web designer, simply because they could remember what facials you were putting on that day. So these are skills that you're supposed to teach yourself constantly. Okay? And as you teach yourself, people around you will notice and they will tell you, wait, you have changed? Yes. So when you start hearing that around you, know that you're working towards something and you're actually grasping it. And there is no end to learning in soft skills. Every day you are improving over and over again. So an example is someone might raise their eyebrows and open their eyes widely if they feel surprised. Eye contact, I've talked about it. You need to be strategic about eye contact. If I am always looking by the side, that shows I'm very nervous and I'm unsure. Okay? If I am looking by my phone, or I'm actually gazing or staring at some other place continuously, I'm just showing the client that I'm disinterested. And it's actually disrespectful at the same time. Because the other party feels that this guy is not taking me seriously. Okay, so eye contact, uh, it makes a lot of people shy. I was very shy one time because I couldn't face a client looking at me at the core of my eye. Actually, I used to go blank. But slowly by slowly, I taught myself the skill of eye contact. And when I am making very firm points, these are just tips I can give you. I usually look at a client in the eye. Okay, even I've finished my proposal and they've gone to the budget, I look at my client straight on their pupil and I tell them this is the amount for the project. I am telling you 9 out of 10 times the client did not did not negotiate. Why? Because they're like, okay, this guy is firm. If I tell him of my counter, if I tell him of my counter and he, I will I will look cheap. Okay, so most times I teach myself to a little bit intimidate the client, at least 50%. You intimidate the client, one, with your intellect, two, with your eye contact, four, three, with your confidence, and all that. Okay? So, in these skills I'm giving you, it's not just for business, it's for with everyone, your family, your spouse, your everyone. Know these nonverbal cues. So, touch, some people also use touch as a form of communication. Most commonly, it's used to communicate support or comfort. This form of communication should be used sparingly and only when you know the receiving party is okay with it. It should never be used to convey anger, frustration, or any other negative emotions. E.g., placing your hands on a friend's shoulder may convey support or empathy. So, touch is very, 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 very sensitive, but it communicates more. Physical touch should be, you should know how to use it because you can go touch someone and you find yourself in prison. Why? There's something we call sexual harassment. Okay? So you should only touch people that you have a long relationship with and that you know as well. Okay? Let's say you went at, let's say, your client's funeral, or let's say they lost their mother or parent. Depending on how close you guys are, will depend on if you can touch their shoulder or not. Sometimes you may not need to speak, but let's say in case of loss, you might just need to place a hand on your friend. Okay? So let me correct this. So reading nonverbal cues such as body language, it's a very, very hard skill. It is not easy. Okay? It is not easy to read nonverbal cues. Why? Because people react differently. Okay? And you need to study 1,000 people for you to know what are the common general aspects of nonverbal cues. Okay? So you will always continue learning. As I say, all these soft skills, you will continue learning all through your career. So each person uses nonverbal communication differently. Okay? But there are those general cues that, you know, can tell you about someone's feelings, intentions, and motivations. So when you communicating with someone, you should be mindful of, nonverbal communication while also taking in their communication. Okay, so these are the few cues you might want to observe. One, posture. If a person has got their shoulders back and spine straight, this is a sign that they are engaged, listening, and open to the ideas or information you're presenting. I have found this with very rich people. People who are like very rich and very, very, very genuine rich people that, have worked their way up, and, they just know how to handle themselves and people. They actually give you their attention. Okay, and they never demean anyone. Okay, they believe that everyone everyone has a chance in this life to be better than anyone else. So there's no man will ever be great. Okay, you always have the power to outdo the greatest of them all. So if people are exhibiting a pure posture with your shoulders slouched or raised and spine bent, they might be nervous, anxious, or angry. Okay, so you cannot really tell, "Ai, huyu hayuko na mimi." So second one is the use of arms. If a person has got their arms down on their side, on the table, arranged in some other open way, this is a sign that they feel positive and are ready to absorb information. I'm teaching you very, very deep skills that marketers use. Okay, so if their arms are crossed or closed, they might be experiencing some sort of negative emotion. Okay, this is not just theory, I have actually tried it. Talking to some person that I came to their personal space, and you see, they had their arms crossed and closed, their eyebrows were up, meeting they are curious about something. And then I made the conversation lighter, and this person eased up, and they actually started uh, placing their hands openly on the table. So these are the nonverbal cues you read even when you're presenting to your clients. Okay, so you need them to ease up a lot, and you just use what nonverbal cues that we've learned. So the use of legs. If a person has got both feet placed flat on the ground, this is a sign that they feel ready and open to hear your ideas. If their legs are crossed or arranged in some other closed formation, they might be feeling irritated or stressed. Okay. Number 4, use of facial expression. If you're communicating with someone who's frowning, who has a furrowed brow, or very tight lips, you might pause to ensure that they don't feel confused, angry, or some other negative emotion. I've actually spoken a lot in a lot of audiences, and every time I would feel that my audience is, they just have this up furrowed brow, I will be like, this guy's never understood what I said. Okay, I will throw in a joke, you see, confuse them, make them relax again, and then I will repeat as I was doing my joke. I am rethinking of how to recalculate what I am saying in a very, very simpler way, and then give out whatever I just said in a simpler way. So when you see actually effective speakers speaking, Uh, Even when they give you a joke, they understood maybe you guys are sleeping, you guys are not understanding what they are saying, and they want to make the conversation as engaging as possible. If you're communicating with someone who has a soft smile, relaxed facial muscles, or gently raised eyebrows, this is a sign that they feel good about the information you're presenting. So, how do you use nonverbal communication when talking to a client? So, as we've said, it's important both to read and interpret nonverbal cues of your client and to respond with appropriate body language throughout. Body language is key. So, these are a few tips for how to use nonverbal communication in your next meeting with your client. When a client, let's say you're meeting in a restaurant, when your client enters the room or the restaurant, you stand up. These are very, 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 very simple tips that can determine if you're going to win that deal or not. Always ensure you stand up. First thing. Why? Standing up is a sign of honor and respect. Okay? So you greet them with a reasonably confident handshake. Okay? Handshake. This can be a whole topic. There are people who do not know how to shake hands. Okay? Uh, in high school, when these girls would come to our school, they will give you a quarter of their fingers to shake. I don't know if it was the style. I didn't know what the hell was wrong with them, but that was just a trend for them, and it is simple. It is symbolized something. Okay. Um, in this outer world, I came and I one day someone shook my hand. I was actually in campus, and they looked at me straight on the face, and I felt intimidated. I was like, wait, I really need to feel to also shake my hands. I didn't know actually if it was really an unverbal cue. So I constantly taught myself how to do a handshake. Okay? Because from the handshake, that is the onboarding. From the handshake, the client can know if you're serious, if you are new in the market, if you're serious about your thing, if you're confident or not. So you might be the best, but they can know when how low they can put you. Okay, this guy is the best, but he does not look that confident. So when you're coming to negotiate about a deal, which you're going to talk about negotiation, I know where to pin him. Okay, so always make sure you give a firm handshake to the end of someone's finger, someone's hand. I know Corona came, okay, and people these days wanagoteana. It's called a fist bump. Actually, I'm advising you, don't do that. Okay? Don't use that fist bump thing. No. You stretch your hand to the client, looking at their eye, at their pupil, offer to shake their hand. Okay? One, that shows you're confident. Even if you're thinking about your corona issues, carry your sanitizer after shaking the client's hands. Okay? But don't do that fist bump thing. Actually, serious people don't do that. So make sure that handshake is firm. But you might also want to be twice in your handshake. The same way you would shake a man is not the same way you'll shake, let's say, a woman. Why? Because unaweza waumiza. Okay? And the good thing is to show your confidence in the handshake, in the greeting, because that is the onboarding process. So always smile when you're greeting your clients and naturally through the whole conversation. Okay? Continue to smile always. It has a lot of power. So sit with your shoulders back and chin up to convey confidence. Place both feet on the ground or, or crossed at the ankles. Okay? Not look at the thighs, at the ankles. And lay your hands on top of one another on the table to express openness and friendliness. You're inviting someone into your personal space. So you need to show it in your body language. Use gestures naturally without being distracting. As you're using gestures, usiwende kutoboa client macho. Okay? Just use them minimally. Okay? Sio kila saa utaongea na mikono yako throwing up the air. Okay? Speak with a reasonable, confident tone so that your client can clearly understand you without being too loud. Okay? Actually, you can even note the tone of your client. Okay? And the volume of your client speech. Okay? Try to match it, but be audible to them. Okay? If, let's say, you have a very soft spoken client, you might want to reduce your pitch, might want to reduce your volume, but don't speak like them. They will know you're imitating them and they will feel offended. Okay? But if you speak too loud, you might want to to tone down. Okay? Use natural conversational intonation without going up or down too unnaturally. You cannot say, I want to. You see, that is intonation. Make sure you're consistent in your intonation. Not when you're talking about money, you're shouting. When you're talking about the work itself, you're very low. You're barely audible. So they say the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. This is a quote by George Bernard Shaw. It reminds me when I was teaching about communication skills. It's the best quote that I've ever come across on communication, because we think that simply because I preached and talked to my client, I already delivered my message. No, it is not like that. You can actually keep quiet and deliver your message as well. So let's go to personal skills. These are abilities that help you positively interact with one another. Sometimes they're called interpersonal skills or people skills. These are generally they are soft skills. That means people can acquire them naturally or through practice. You don't get this from formal study. Okay? So everything I'm just giving you are tips. You have to go and apply them. So people get and develop personal skills by interacting and forming relationships with others. Personal skills are quite many, but we'll cover those which are vital in your business. So one, emotional intelligence is what we call EQ. Okay. So emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and manage your emotions and the emotions of others. In a nutshell, if you are having issues in your relationship, don't take it to your client. Okay? If your client is having issues with their spouses and they bring you all their stress to you, do not retaliate. Keep quiet. close the conversation, wait until the conversation is better to talk about. It's conducive. So it's made up of 5 key elements. So one, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Self-regulation is the control over oneself. It may involve control over your thoughts, emotions, impulses, appetites, or task performance. So you need to control yourself. Self-regulation. When a client comes to you, they have said all what they are saying to you. They are telling you are not the best in your field. Regulate your speech, regulate your emotions. Okay? Regulate your impulses because they may make you feel bad. But regulate yourself. Motivation is the desire to act in service of a goal, the crucial element in setting and attaining our objectives. Always be motivated. One, when talking to your clients. Two, around your clients. Three, when doing your client tasks. Even if you're not motivated, show it. Okay? The client will not know you're not motivated. Empathy, most important, is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. A lot of times you're told you need to be empathetic to your clients. Okay? I have found clients that are so empathetic to me, and they have actually just taught me how to be a better person and improve my soft skills. I remember there was a time I was very, very, very tired, and the client kept telling me, no, change this, change that. And I was like, you know what? Mimi hautakuja kuni stress. I'm just tired. As in, I don't think I can be able to do this thing. But the client, in a soft tone, told me, Siloma, just need to have emotional intelligence. Actually, and that was it. And I actually sat down and I realized, wait, I'm just bringing actually my issues to the client. And I asked myself, if the client acted the way I acted on me, would I have been empathetic of what they are feeling? Okay. Not everyone has got these soft skills. Not all clients have emotional intelligence. Some will come and lash at you, but you are the person who are supposed to teach them, not by telling them directly, but indirectly. You're supposed to be at that point where the client is like, wait, this service provider is so good to me. I think I need to improve on myself. So how I've come to know people learn. People learn from other people. Trust me, if a human being sees a good character, they would like to emulate it. Okay? If I have a friend who's consciously uh, honest and gives a lot, and I see what joy it brings them, I might want to emulate that. Okay? And not telling me of the consequences of not being honest. That will not help me at all because it is a character. It's a character. So you need to teach yourself to be empathetic to everyone's feelings, okay? Because you do not know of their backgrounds. You do not know if their pride is something that, they hide in, if them being rude is them being protective of their personal space, okay? So when you're empathetic of other people, they actually change because we change the world by doing good things, okay? That's why So many people who go to jail, okay, they find other crooks in jail. Even at the end of their sentence, most of them go back. Why? They found another crop and they developed soft skills that were for a survival mode. Okay? So you need to have social skills where you communicate and interact with each other. So even if you're a crazy introvert, you need to have social skills to make it in business. You need to know how to communicate and interact with people because that's where you'll get business from. So, second personal skill that you're supposed to have is mindset. It's sorry, confidence. You need to be confident always. Always be confident because that is where you can bravely express your ideas with ease. Okay? You need to be sure to the client. Never second guess yourself. Okay. Can you have this task done? No, never do that. Can you have this task done? Yes or no, or I can try. I can have it done. Okay? Never question your abilities. You need to always believe in yourself. Most creatives don't believe in themselves because they have seen this another person who has a good portfolio and behance than them. They think they're not the best because they have seen someone greater. They even say, "Sijafika, I'm still trying." No, you're not trying. You're doing. Someone who's trying is someone not in this world. Okay, because every person in this world is doing. Even a thief does not try to steal, he steals. Because if he tries to steal, they will get caught. You're not trying to live, you're living. But I don't know why this mentality of acha tujaribu tu hapa. Until actually, if you say you're trying in life, you'll actually try forever. Because people who try never actually do it. Okay? Even if you're starting a business today and you are attending this class, you are not trying to learn business, you are in business. Okay, you are learning business. This is the business that you are learning. You're not trying to. Never use that statement in your whole life. Okay, that I will try. I hate it. I usually hate it. Okay, I rather say I can have someone do it. I will look for ways. Yes, even when a client asks me for something that I cannot do, I usually say I will look for ways. I can look for ways. Okay, because can shows ability. So you need to handle new situations with bravery and focus on your strengths instead of harboring on your flaws. Please don't look at, hey, I don't know this, but the client has told me to do. No, someone else does. Tell them to teach you. There is YouTube. There is a lot. Okay, the only people who have made it in life are the people who focused on what they can do. NATO imposter syndrome, yes. Focusing on what you cannot do. I was there. And I was like, can I be the best? And there are other people who can do bigger things than me. Actually, I have listened to stories of people who have made their money, and they most of those stories are like, I just decided to start. Another one will tell you, I was asked if I could do this in my first tender, in my first project. I said yes, and I had no idea of what I was doing. And I found people. Actually, people just came to the project and it worked. This is why the creative industry is run by non-creatives. Actually, 99.9999% of the creative industry is run by people who are not creative themselves because they believe they can do it. They believe there's someone else who can do it. I don't really need to know how to do it. And that's why these people in this web design, let's say meetings, I'll speak of web design because that's what I do. They will say, uh, I will call a member of my team and come and talk. I don't know. And they will actually say to the client, I don't know how to do this. Okay. But my guy will do it. Okay. Theirs is to look for the business. So you need to have a growth mindset. In your business, you'll encounter roadblocks, disappointments, and other situations that might frustrate you. A soft skill that is critical to your ability to persevere is having a growth mindset. Knowing that beyond all odds, you must win and overcome any challenges that may come. Most graphic designers want to be graphic designers. Most photographers want to be photographers. Okay. Most writers want to be writers. Okay. Forever. Most web designers want to be just web designers, and that's it. There is no way that writer would ever think of owning a printing press. And I have found this with creatives a lot. If I am a web designer, I would want to do small websites, and that is, I would not want to start a big company that I've employed over 400 people, even 1,000. Does it hurt? If I sell clothes, I don't want to own a mall and even have other people sell clothes in that mall with me. I just want to have a store, and that's it. I'm comfortable. Okay. As a graphic designer, I will say marketing and all these companies, big companies that do this marketing and all these things, I cannot grow to be like them. You know, when they started 100 years ago. Do I have 100 years? So most creatives are just like that. That's it. Look at other professionals, lawyers. What's the most interesting career that I have seen? Then you will find two people straight from campus. They have started their own practice. Wonder why they use their traditional names, Omonti and Ouma advocates, and they will even do the shortest of jobs just to have a portfolio. Okay. We were talking with a lawyer last time, and they were telling me the top lawyer in this nation has a library of millions of just, I don't know, law reports that are well designed. That is a show off to the client, just to present to the client and show the client, you know what, this is my library. They actually don't even touch it. They don't pull anything there. But it has got all law reports, I don't know from how many years. So I've found lawyers to be very, very, very interesting in this nation. Those who are on private practice, they will continue to do even the shortest of jobs to grow their portfolio. Tell a designer you can do artworks for Safaricom for free, or let's say Del Monte for free for 6 months to have a portfolio. Or you can do a website for, let's say, Dr. Mattress for free, so that when you're asked, where is your portfolio, which big company have you worked with, then you say, I worked for this and this, so and so. They can't. Why? Because creatives have this thought that they are being used. When I got started in web design, I was begging people to do their website so that I could have a portfolio. I was even willing to buy their domain and hosting. Okay. And I was willing to pay that domain and hosting every year so that I would have a portfolio of my own. Actually, people were refusing. I said, where do I go to fellowship? I used to go to K Crew. I actually did the K Crew BS website. Yes. Where? Which website have you done? Oh, you know Kubamba? Yes. The one that comes, it used to come on Citizen Morning. Yes. That's how I started getting into this web design space. Today I can do pro bono for some tasks to have that name as my portfolio. Okay, it's very simple. This is a very simple example that I give to creatives. So let's say you are arrested and say you are told to do and you have contact with let's say the president because he's a close ally. All you need is a name. Okay. Yes, this person does not know you. Maybe you are arrested in Lodwa or anywhere. You just need a contact. That's why they call it connections. So your portfolio can also have connections. There are so many organizations here with shoddy designs, shoddy website, shoddy photography, shoddy everything, which you can offer and do. It does not hurt because if you spend 2 hours on watching a movie, you can spare 30 minutes to do a poster for an organization. So this is where graphic designers, photographers don't really think. I actually did a free website for an organization, and the previous guys did it for 55 million, and I did it for free. So everyone thought I was mad. Well, I wasn't, because I know the power of it. So graphic designers, web designers, photographers, and other people that are doing business, you need to have a growth mindset. Simply because your business did not make it in the file, you went into losses, does not mean that you know you stop doing it. Okay, simply because you're disappointed by a partner who swindled you away does not mean that you cannot do it. Simply because your first 2, 3, 4, 5 years were harsh does not mean you stop doing it. Reached a point I never knew I would ever make anything in web design in this country. I knew it. Okay, and by knowing it were suggestions that I was giving in my mind by the devil himself. But I've consistently done this for 10 years now. Okay, so right now when I see, let's say, young web designers asking me, how do you get your clients, how do you, I want to be like you. That's why I've taken them all through this class, and they're asking me, we are waiting for the day that you will teach us web design, or we will go on these skills. They don't know that hard skills, they can only do so little. Soft skills are 80%, because that is when you'll know how to get the client, win them, negotiate with them, and do all these things. So just because you are having issues or you have had issues with your business, even for 10 years, never quit. If that guy of KFC quit in the 100th time, he could not be having KFC today. And he actually died before he before the business was actually the way it is today. So you need to have a growth mindset. Don't keep crying and wishing, oh, I wish I was as consistent as you. I wish I had a company like yours. You will wish all your life. Today, as I can tell you, I have a lot of work to do. My God, I will sleep at 4, 5, but I have spared 2 hours to impart my knowledge onto someone. And I will do this consistently. Why? Because I've chosen to do it. Okay? So never cry foul. Attention to detail. I will actually boast about this. This is why this class is happening. Okay? I love detail. If it's a margin that I have in my laptop, in my website, they need to be consistent from top to bottom. If I've done a website, I have put, let's say, 10% margins on both sides. The next section should not be 15 or what. No. Beautiful alignments. In my, let's say, tablet, if it's 5%, it's even. Okay? If it's laptop, if it's the phone, 3% maybe. That's how it should be from top to bottom. if it's a graphic that I have done, okay, the alignment, the casing, if it's a paragraph in there, the elements, they need to align so perfectly. And it's through attention to detail that will give you consistent clients and referrals. Nothing else. Okay? There are some other clients who have said, okay, this guy has a very good job. He has a bad character. This other guy has a very good character, all the soft skills you want, but his job is not as good. Trust me, clients will opt to go to the person with the perfect job, and they will try as much avoid their tantrums. Okay? And people who have great attention to details, I don't know, for some reason, they're really fought by the devil. Most of them are wasted. I have found so many in the village. They take a lot of changa. Actually, in every village in this country, the people who repair best motorcycles, they're very good with their hands. They they do the best repair of houses, motorcycles. I don't know by scale. The people who are very good in crafting things, for some reason, they just have their own issues. They are fought. Yani, their life is just fought. So attention to detail will always make you stand out, even if you are a farmer. Okay, even the way you've planted your cabbage, even by putting them in one straight line. Trust me, that small thing can make you stand out. Even if you go on losses with the client, the client will always come back to you and tell you, okay, we made a loss. Okay, we try again. Okay, this is what makes you stand out. Okay, and you don't need to copy other people. Okay, know what the basics are, improve on that, and have your own unique thing about it. So for creatives, cross check your work. If it's that photo, make sure it's well edited, even if there are 500. When I used to do wedding photography and all that, you would submit even 500 or 1,000 photos to the client. I would go on them one by one. Very tiring job, but that was what made me land the next job. Flexibility and dependability. Aha. Graphic designers, you've made a logo for a client. You're about to submit tomorrow. You've done your 3 samples. Client tells you, um, we have talked with my partner and we've changed the business name. What will you do? This is where your soft skills come in. You need to be wise, okay? And you need to be flexible because things change, okay? The world is not static, it's not cast on stone, it is changing. So you need to be flexible. Their clients, I tell them, you know what, I'm done with the project and all those things. We are done, do my work, project completion report and everything. But then they tell me, yeah. Can we change the text? Nimekosea. Can we change the text in this section? I have every right to tell them, you know what, I closed the project, so you need to pay me. But I can think of being a dependable designer and being flexible and change the thing without charging them. This can only be a good name in their referrals to me. So you need to be flexible and dependable in your work. So time management, you need to know how to manage your time. Always arrive earlier than the client in meetings and communicate any emergencies as early as possible. This will assure the client that you're the best person for the job. Stress management, never show the client that you're stressed, either on personal issues or work related issues. Never even show them that that work you've given them is stressing. Okay? Because they'll only be convinced that you cannot handle project because you can't handle your personal life. So adaptability, just explain this. You need to be adaptable. Okay, adapt to changes. Sawa? And always craft a way forward. Okay, we will explain about uh, this as we go on. So work ethic. Oh, most people don't have a skill. I'm sleeping at 4 a.m. today or 5 because I have a serious work ethic. I told the client it will be ready by this time. It must be ready. Okay? I cannot go, let's say, party with my clients. No, no, no. I don't. There are some parts of me maybe I don't want them to see. There are some things I can't tell my clients, no matter uh, how amazing relationship we have together. No, even for family who became my clients, they have to see that side of me as a business person, not as a family member. Okay, give your deliverables in time and stick to your agreed work plan. If not, communicate earlier always and be honest. Usikuwe kama fundi wa nguo. Most important, creatives don't know this. My God. And this is the worst thing about them. And that's why I rather hire um, an accountant who will tell me they are creative, they are whatever, they are web designer, will handle it because they come to me polished. Creatives dress shoddily. My God. Sometimes, let's say I have projects with a client and I need to accompany a developer. My friend, someone will come there dressed like a thug, and you actually lose the business simply because that guy came dressed like these people do not know what they're doing. I cannot entrust my money with such people. Okay, and most times the client will tell me, "Hmm, I was worried about the project. I'm glad you are finished." Hey, it's God. Yeah, actually, most clients usually honest with me. I misjudged you. Okay, I looked at you and the person and your guys, and I just said, it's because of you. It is because of you. So you guys need to know how to dress. You will find a creative, a web designer with an old t-shirt, old Mutumba t-shirt that is smelly. Okay. Red eyes because he was working all night and they forgot. They knew they had a meeting the following day. They'll be red and they will just come like that, shabbily dressed. They look like aliens, and you will just lose that job. You rather have someone well polished. They look like you guys can communicate at a certain level. So look at the kind of clients you're meeting. Okay. Some clients will even test you, they will take you to restaurants and check how you eat, check your table manners and etiquette. Okay. So that's why it does not hurt to watch a YouTube video on etiquette, even how to handle a fork and a knife. Okay, actually, a simple thing like wewe kuvuruta chai can make you not land on a very very important deal because the client might need you to represent them on something, and if that is how you're going to behave, it's going to be crazy. So you having an amazing uh, appearance, it's not just for first impressions, but it's for continuous skills. So the future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways. So even with these soft skills that I've taught you, um, learn more and combine them in ways that you can't fathom. So finally, interactive skills. These they just refer to the general ability to interact with the external world to accomplish a task. You can't control how others behave, but you can decide how you react. And this is one of the most essential soft skills that we need. So most of the things I've spoken about, so I'll just skim in first. So one, selling. Do you sell your services? One, you need to know how to be convincing. You need to know how to win people over your point of view. Show clarity and salesmanship without hustling. Okay? Better talk to a mirror and try selling your services. Okay? Be persuasive and inspire trust and confidence in the eyes of your clients. Ensure that you close deals. And if now, make sure you leave and if not now, sorry, that should be, if not now, make sure you leave the door open, okay, for the next conversation. So give your clients something to ponder about, okay? Not a must that you seal all your deals right now, okay? It's this guy called Vusi, the Bequire. This guy can teach you a lot about selling. There is actually a lot of YouTube videos on him. What is his website? So you can go to your YouTube and just Google about Musi the Bequire. It's very good. It's very good. My favorite video is the one she asks a lady to sell them the pen. So, networking. You need to be comfortable connecting with strangers and acquaintances. If you have issues or meeting people, teach yourself about the social skills that we've talked about. Okay? Learn how to interact with ease, be personable, even share quick pitches in a group or one-on-one setting. The problem with most people is that they are always networking. They don't know how to craft friendships first. And rich people stay with rich people. Do you know why? Because poor people will not go telling them, I have another idea. They need real relationships. That's why rich people hide themselves. Because even if you're not begging them money, you're telling them of another idea. You're telling them of what and what. So even in these networking groups, you don't go telling them, hey, I am Siloma, I am a web designer. No. Look for French. You just be you. Sometimes, because these are skills I've learned with time, I know when to talk and when not. I can tell you there's a deal I've landed after years of just being with someone. And then finally, that conversation came. I do this and this. Oh, I also do this and this. Okay. Oh, you did. I wish you told me. So I did not feel bad that I never told him, but it came out naturally. So even in networking, look for relationships and make sure you protect those relationships. So be skilled in making small talk. Small talk is not gossip. Small talk breaks the ice. It makes others feel comfortable and put them at ease. The first level of a conversation. It's about the current situation, how you got there, the weather, the location, mutual friends, and other connections such as sports, your pets, or your children. Okay? So, I'll give you a secret. When it's a lady, always compliment the lady. Always. Okay? But don't overdo it. Guys, always look for topics to break the ice. Because a man can never come and open themselves to you. It's harder. They can, but it's harder. So, know common things that you share. If it's men love sports mostly. So let's say you're a place seated on a table na EPL inaendelea, sema na Manu watachapwa huyu wakati, unaona aje? So that is how you break the ice with small talk. You don't go there formally and say, I'm this and that and all those things. So in these networking groups as well, you might find these, let's say CSS, okay, well, maybe too high. Okay, these rich people, and you start treating them as rich people. You fake some stupid honor and respect, and simply because he has money, you're treating him like someone who has money. Most of them hate that, especially the humble ones, the sane ones. They hate that. But of course, there are others who love that. They love praise and all those. And all those people who love praise, they are not the real. They are not the real deal. So with these people, be normal. Okay, they are human beings at the end of the day. Okay, and trust me, most of them are very wise. Talk to them about football, how it is. Amazing. Just make the conversation as casual as possible. They are human beings at the end of the day. So you find in these networking places, so because maybe I'm the CEO of Bright, someone will just come there and pretend that they honor me, respect me, that they look up to me and all that. Sometimes you get tired. If I am in a social environment, I'm with people, conference just broke, nini. A million people have told me they look up to me. So, okay, can I get your contact? I will blacklist you very fast because a million people are telling me the same. So, you need to be creative in that. Negotiation, one of the most important. Okay, actually, this is what really drives this class today. Negotiation is actually arriving at a compromise. Okay, it involves deadlines, to-dos, even finalizing info and content. Question is, are you win-win focused? Can you plan and anticipate a conversation? And can you lose a negotiation with grace? Because some lose a negotiation, it's a matter of life and death. So some of the negotiation skill that can help you win deals. One, and actually, as we're having this class, note down your questions because after this, you're going to have a small question and answer session. So listen to the other party's point of view. Be an active listener. Most people love talking and talking and talking. You need to listen to the other side, understand their key issues, hot buttons, and then formulate an appropriate response. So some people really talk a lot. In negotiation, very hard. It will only be about you. So you need to be prepared. If I'm going to negotiate with a client, I need to know what their company is all about. Wako na pesa ngapi? Okay. I need to go Google the person I am negotiating with. So simply do your research. So they say knowledge is power, but enthusiasm pulls the switch. Anyway, keep negotiations professional and cautious. Nobody really wants to do business with a difficult or abusive personality. So always draft the first version of the agreement. So never let the client give you the proposal. You may feel wasted, okay? Because let's say you had a proposal for, let's say, 500,000, come they tell you I have 80,000. Okay. After, let's say, you've done your presentation and all that. Okay. It's rather the client tells you, we will think about it. Okay. An absolutely fundamental principle of almost any negotiation is that you should prepare the first draft of the proposed contract. Okay. Because the client is waiting on you. Okay. This lets you frame how the deal should be structured, implement key points that you want that haven't been discussed, and get momentum on your side. Okay. Be prepared to play poker and be ready to walk away. Si lazima. It's not a must that you seal the deal. And don't feel less if you have not sealed the deal. You must be able to play poker with the other side and be able to walk away if the terms of the deal aren't up to your liking. So it's all about you, okay? Now, before you start, what your target price is and your walk away price is, okay? Don't go there and because maybe you liked the client personality, you enter the deal na unakuja unachomeka and then it becomes chaos, okay? Know that if this is the amount that this is how low I should go, I cannot go beyond this. Be prepared with the market data to back up why your price is reasonable. And if you are confronted with an ultimatum that you absolutely can't live with, be prepared to walk away. Okay? Even Mama Mboga has these skills. Creatives don't apply these skills. Mama Mboga will tell you, well, you see this economy. Hey, nyanya imepotea and you have not even bought. Uko hapo unafinya nyanya. Usifinya sana. Nyanya zimepotea sana. So she's preparing you that the price is going to be higher. Okay? So if umwambia na hizi nyanya ni expensive, they will tell you hata kwa mama nani hii it's expensive as well. Hakuna nyanya. Even if you are buying some good clothes from Muhindi, they will tell you hauwezi pata mahali pengine, ni hapa tu. You see? So, or they will tell you the price of, let's say, fuel has gone up and all that. So there's market data that you can use in your negotiations. So always draft the first version of the agreement. Okay, we've talked about this. Keep in mind that time is the enemy of many deals. Why exactly? Because the longer a deal takes to get completed, the more likely that something will derail it. Okay? So you should be prompt in responding and you keep the momentum moving. However, it doesn't mean that you should rush through negotiations and make concessions that you don't really need to make. Understand when time is on your side and when time could be your real enemy. So seal your deals fast. Mapema. Okay? If I'm supposed to seal a deal, tuko kwa club with a client, and let's say they want a website and they tell you I want to make the first purchase, it's a Sunday, so you take the deal. Okay, if you tell them let's wait until Monday's bringing me so that I can give you what, no, seal the deal first. Okay, but don't make rash decisions that after sealing the deal you've already agreed, you realize that business is a loss. Okay, so this is why you should understand your products inside and out, and that's why we did the class of how to price and package your products. You should know that even if then else. Okay, don't get hung up on one issue. You want to avoid getting stuck on a seemingly intractable issue. Sometimes it's best to suggest that an issue be set aside for the moment so that you too can make progress on other issues. A creative solution may come to you later outside the heat of the negotiation. So let's say I'm negotiating a new deal, but I did not finish the other project because there were hang-ups from the client and it has brought up this issue. It is becoming a heated debate. You can place that aside, okay, so that you may come up with a solution later when you guys are at peace. Identify who the real decision maker is. You want to understand what kind of authority the other person are that you're negotiating with has. If they're the ultimate decision maker. Sometimes you might be wasting your time negotiating with a pawn in the company that they have got zero power to do it. and you really wasted your company, and then it tells you I will forward it to my bosses. But they were looking for a proposal so that they can look as if they're working. So it's often a mistake to accept the first offer from the other side. Never your whole life accept the first offer. Okay? Even if you are prepared for 80,000, and the other client, the client says 400,000, you don't need to look scared. Why? And say yes. Because if you don't counter, the other party will be like, wait, I've given this person too much money. Okay? And they may end up with something called the buyer's remorse and attempt to get out of the deal. Buyers expect that there will be a counter, as they expect that their first offer will likely be rejected. So never accept the first offer, even if it's extremely lucrative, even if you're thinking that you lose the deal. No. Okay? Buyers will be like, ay, amekubali haraka sana. So ask the right questions. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask the other party many questions, because they can help you with information about the negotiations. Depending on the type of the deal, you could ask, this is the best pricing you can give me? What assurance do I get that your product or solution will work for me? Who are your competitors? How do their products compare? What else can you throw into the deal without cost to us? What is your desired timing for the deal? So conflict resolution, in one way or another, you can have conflict as you're doing the negotiations. No, we're back to interactive skills. Negotiations was number 3. Now, as well, you can have conflict during the negotiations that you're having. You can have conflict between your workmates or even your clients. Okay, so you need to have the interactive skills of resolving conflict. Okay, because then you realize that there's a relationship going on that you would not want to ruin. Okay, some deals you can decide to walk away from. Why? Because maybe they might ruin the financial health of your organization. Okay, so you need to know how to resolve conflict. Sometimes you unaweza kosana na client, but this client is your brother and you have a family relationship going on. So you really need to know how to resolve conflicts. So in your whole life, never be at bad times with your clients. You're supposed to try as much, even if you're calling it off, you call it off peacefully. But there's some clients who are erratic and they hawawezi ambiwa. You rather keep shut, let the project die a slow death, than talk ill to them. Okay? This world is a very small place. Silence is key when you find very difficult client. Just keep quiet. So openness to feedback. Most creatives feel attacked when they are told you're not the best. Yeah, there's someone who does better than you, and they compare you with someone else. So you need to be open to any feedback, even if they're ill intended. It is a feedback. It is how the other party is seeing you. Okay? Because this will help you view yourself and your business from the client's perspective. This is a very amazing quote that I really love. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it. Rather, we aim too low and we reach it. This is Michelangelo. It's the sweetest thought I've come across today. So these are all the references. This document will be available in the course content as usual. So thank you. so much. As usual, share this free resource to as many people as you can. Okay, and even explain to them if you can. So, Bride Academy is a community of young people who are always willing to learn and share ideas. The group link is on the comment sections. So you can log in and register as a student at brightacademy.com and join our live classes every Saturday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. for free. So the appendix, I will appreciate if you mention my work on your social media. I run brightconsulting.com. Uh, I run brighthosting.com. This is where you can do domain and hosting. Okay, if you want to buy a domain, if you want to buy hosting, I also offer those services. And the Bright Academy is this school, free school for creatives. So you can check out my other passions. I also develop as a creative writer. You can go to my website, siloma.co.ke/blog. Actually, when you go to siloma.co.ke, you'll get everything that I do. Yeah, that's my personal website. And silomasays.com. Don't know why what I was doing today. I did all this curriculum in quite some time. Actually, they take a lot of time. So it takes a lot of time to do this work. So that's why I keep telling you guys these are resources that are done with sweat and blood. I spend my whole Saturday doing this curriculum. So kindly share and invite as many people as you can so that they can get this free resource. So you can follow us on social media. All these are our social media handles. So these are physical location. So thank you so much, guys. You can go to Bright Academy. You can learn freely. Uh, this is exactly what is on the website. You can go to courses. So when you go to courses, you can enroll on. This is the last. This is the thing that we are having now. The class. You can get enrolled here and register for free. So when you get enrolled, you will actually get to see the course content here, title about the course, your learning objectives, what is included, uh, the curriculum itself. This was for last time, and the attachment. So you will have the attachment here on the on the same page, and the video. This video will be active here. Okay, so you can play it, you can resize it, and all that. So thank you so much, guys, for coming in. You can also go rate and write your reviews of the class there. So all these classes are available and recorded. So thank you so much, guys, for coming. This is the time for questions. I've seen someone has raised their hand. So Mr. Ren Bok, please, if you have a question, this is the time. If you have a question, just raise your hand. Even a comment, you can raise your hand and tell us anything. If you enjoyed the class, you can also tell us. Yes, Mr. Zenbok, you raised your hand. You have a question? You can unmute your mic. Or if you can talk, you can also type in your.
Hello. You can hear me?
Mr.
Hello.
Zen, you are talking, but we can't hear you. Or is
Am
it
I
my.
clear now?
Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, my mic is mute. My speaker. Yes, 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 sir. Oh, I'm sorry, I had muted
My,
my. Yes.
mine is to thank you for what you're doing.
Okay.
I really appreciate your efforts and the time you're putting in. I've been learning a lot for the past 3 weeks.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you've been attending classes.
I've been attending, actually, this is my first live class, but the others have been following up on the website and YouTube.
Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. That is very humbling. Wow. You're very much welcome. I will keep doing them as often as I can.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And
Anyone?
also,
Uh-huh.
you used Man United as a bad example.
No, 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 no. It's a real example. It's a real example. But we can negotiate. We've learned the skills of negotiation. We can
Yes.
negotiate if it's a bad team or not. But I know it's a bad team.
I went to negotiate on that.
So we can meet up for a cup of coffee.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, then.
You're welcome.
Anyone else with a comment, questions? I wonder why people fear asking questions in this class. Or am I am I intimidating? I need to work on my communication skills. Am I intimidating? Am I not friendly? Maybe you guys can tell me. Because we are 12 people. You guys can't say something. Okay. Say a negative comment. It's still communication. Anyone else? Oh, the hardware. Oh, thank you, Mr. Kesiloma. Uh, yes, the hardware. We need to hear you. We need to hear your voice. Oh, she's typed in. You are crisp. Everything was clear and well understood. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Uh, yes. Anyone else before we can close the class? Okay. Sawa sawa. Thank you so much. See you next week on Saturday, same time, same place. The website actually is a little bit slow, but I'm going to work on it to make it faster. Yes, so thank you so much, guys. Have a nice weekend ahead and a good night.